right, guys, so what we're going to do today is we're actually going to work some back stuff, okay? We're going to go over a little bit of concepts, control, and then a few moves. Some of you may know this, some of you may not, but they're good transition moves. What I wanted you guys to try to get some idea of is everyone comes in with a seatbelt grip, high elbows, keeping them pressured in here, but you don't have to have your grips. I can come here and simply retract my elbow back to my side using my back muscle, and this can be pretty powerful. CJ tries to go forward from here. Even if I don't have a grip, I can pin him. By pulling my elbows back and just making the connection here keeps him pinned to my chest. The more you do this, how many of you just had that split second lapse in your grip that they broke? So when you're going to switch your grip, if you keep these tight as you switch your grips, it'll hold them there just long enough, and they may not feel the pressure escaping, especially if you're here, you got their head turned or whatever, and they can't see. Here might feel like a grip, but then when he pulls that off, he thinks he's escaping, but my wrist and my forearm are still pulling back and keeps him there, right? It's that tension that doesn't allow them to escape. Feet, heels being pulled back here, right? When we get here, we usually just let our feet sit and relax. But if we apply a little bit of tension, it'll make the difference that you'll see whenever you're rolling. So that's why we warmed up no grips. And how many of you guys feel that it was when you started doing this a little bit, maybe just holding, you felt like you could still control something, right? Not as good as with this. When we rely on this connection here, these things to be what holds them, and then we're loose. And that's usually how they start to escape, right? But if we can get in here, maybe tighten this stuff up, grab the grip, and keep everything just here, it makes it more difficult. They have to struggle a little bit more. So what we're gonna go in, we're gonna add that, but then we're here. And CJ's here, and they'll react in certain ways, they'll try to defend. Sometimes you can't get that rear naked choke, their grip is too strong, right? Very simple maneuver here. We're just gonna cup and bring this up. I have a longer arm. I like to bring it as far back as I can, and sometimes I can cup the back of their neck. If I need to, I can create a little turning pressure. I don't necessarily do it all the time with training partners, but if I were in a serious situation, whether it's a tournament or a fight, I can start cranking on the neck to make that handbrake, right? Two of them here. Go ahead and hold on to it for a minute. I'm gonna try to put your neck back. Create that, yeah, okay. Creates the tension for him to let that arm go. What I can do from there, especially here, is I can start working on going and isolating this arm, right? Even though he's got this one. I'm gonna switch my hip, my feet, and I'm gonna come here. What some people like to do is they like to dive to their shoulder on the ground, much like a bow and arrow choke. Remember how we dive? When we dive for that bow and arrow choke, I think Matt was teaching that in the last couple weeks. We dive for the bow and arrow choke. Boom, we come over and we keep it. My right arm never let go, never started sliding. My leg, and I go around him, and now I can bring him down here. And I can work my armbar escapes, right? We can keep the pressure. Once again, talk about bringing tension into our controlling positions. If I sit here with my legs straight, they're heavy on him, it's difficult for him to sit up. But if I come here and bring my heels close, it provides pressure for him that makes it difficult for him to spin. And these heels, when you can dig them into their ribs, it hurts. Notice I'm not crossing. In this situation, if I bring my knees together, they flare open, giving an escape opportunity. But I bring them tight in like this, it's taking a lot of space away. He wants to spin. And then I can just begin to little bumps. Even if he's there, I bring the whole family with me. And then I start to go back to my armbar. A few points to remember. We're here. Let's say he's doubling, gripping on here. Great. That means this hand is not being monitored, right? And he doesn't want that. Come high and cup. If you're in the gi, this is a perfect opportunity for a gi choke. But he's got both hands here. I come up high and I grab. If you can only come to here, that's fine. Put your chin on. Here. Never let go. Scoop it. We get here. I don't rush this part because 2 reasons. One, if I go really fast, I kick him in his head, and when I pull that arm, I slap myself in the face. Unless you're into that, that's cool. I like to get the position, have them defend it, and beat their defense. That means my technique is sound, and I don't have to rush, because I'm getting this armbar in, right? Notice that when I did this, what's the positioning of the shoulders? Are they flat on the mat, or are they angled up? Angled up, which makes him pulling this to the ground much more difficult. That was attained because I kept tension pulling up on the shoulder. Now I'm here. My feet come in tight, right? That's fine. Let him fight. He's not going anywhere, right? Boom. Shoot it through. Catch that jiffy choke. For those of you who were here the other night, you can get however you want to finish the armbar, okay? One last time we're here, he isolates, boom, opportunity for the hand, come up high, grab it as far as you can. This, if you can get this far, that's gold, right? Because we can just start elevating and twisting, using our back to twist. But he's got it, boom, he's grabbing. Switch, keeping this grip. Here, notice he didn't fall, I didn't fall, don't fall to my back. Here, get it, gets it deep. Good, I like that. You're gonna get here, and we can just start to beat it. And I don't like to hurt my back, I'm old, right? I get here, use my feet. And everyone knows I like little shaking bumps. Boom, 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 boom. And it's here. One thing you can do as a side note, grab it. You're here, and he's not letting go. Drop that on top. And that'll break. Then you can just kind of slowly extend. Go up onto the wrist. Up big, the whole arm. Before you go isolate the little wrist. And then get your arm. Any questions? Let's give our partners, give a shot on 3. 1, 2, 3.
You can go.
Where did you here? To the center ring, Brent. If you want me to just break this grip, turn like you're going to look at the back. Get that grip. Turn your hand on your shoulder like you're going to look at the back. Right? But if you don't, then you can just go ahead and switch your feet. Oh, my back is falling. Just throw your elbow in your head.
Yeah, that's how I do it.
Your elbow
That's what I do.
There's no way I'm getting myself on the right. And however you want to break it. This year, I like to have arm with this arm. It's hard
So you're not waiting for them to straighten up.
Slide your arm up to the side.
You're isolating that arm. So you're isolating this arm.
Guys, fight the instinct to lean back. Try to stay seated the whole time, even when you bring the leg over. You'll notice a difference. Training partners on the bottom, you'll notice the difference. Let your partner know. It's always instinctive to fall. Try not to fall.
Whenever you want to try not to fall, so you want to try to get yourself in place, you can stay up. Your heels and
Sports and habits.
that's deep. That's more realistic.
Yep. scoop up on the rim pump. Or no, I pull this down. Here, let it go down. Bring your leg over, pull it forward, and then lock it back. That's my side. Feeling it, it's believable. Extra. If I can, I can grab that. So here, you put two on the one. And notice like here, you had it today. You get this feel that on the shoulder. If I get here, that's fine. Switch. Here's my foot strap is fine with me. So I'm trying to break this. Feel the pressure.
You see that? We get more like slide here.
Cool.
Yeah,
Try not to sit back. You see. Now watch what happens. Here's the difference. I'm gonna fall to my shoulder. Right?
It just starts to hurt.
This is the choking arm. That's what some kids try to do. It's like so bad that I don't even have to try to not be cool. It looks better, doesn't it?
Taking that hand and touching it from the other side.
Is it stronger?
Take your hands on my side.
You feel like you bend your elbow on that?
Take your heels on, you turn your sides to stay up. Like this. So like your heels
So keep your hips. So it looks better. It's flashes. Feel the difference. So we're here. Whoa, grab my wrist. Here. More switch my feet. Now watch. Which one feels? This is still tight. Let's go.
I already saw the jet. It's like a six-pack.
Boom. We're here. Switch. Which arm are you talking about? What works for you?
Oh, the last one. Oh,
It looks great. It looks good. Like your side is looking
yeah,
different.
but no, that's putting up too much of a show. That's too much.
Well, the thing is, that movement allows space. If you need to. Let's say you can't get your leg really out, you're just not feeling it, you can fold your shoulder and throw the leg over. Doesn't mean the arm bar's lost. You have given up more space for him to get out. He's in a position where he can get his back flat. It's the difference between him being here and you're around their elbow. For them to slide their shoulders down, they gotta move that elbow down. So you're here, you've wedged your hips behind their shoulder, they're stuck here. They either have to weather the storm or go that way. When you slide to the side, you kind of move your hips, swivel, and you end up here. You can still be wedged behind the shoulder, not as good or deep, but then they have a little more opportunity for that kind of action. So, both arm bars can be effective. I just say that the first one doesn't look as dynamic for sure, but it can be much tighter, less space, less flashy, and then people will go, you didn't look like you moved at all, right? The other one will work. You don't feel like you've got the momentum, or you can bring your leg around, you're not as flexible. You need to swivel those hips, you can always do that, right? Thing I would say to remember is keeping that arm close to you, but try not to fall back. Like you can fall here, get that leg over, and you need to come back up to your seated position if you can, okay? Traditionally, arm bars have always been taught to fall back, fall back. The arm bar drills have always been fall back, right? From the mount. When you fall back, you're going to finish the arm bar in that drill position. But how often do we get an arm bar and we're falling back because they haven't defended their arm? I can tell you my experience is the majority of my arm bars will have a defense to them. You know what I mean? The person's gonna go boom. Unless I'm just going super fast and they just don't see it coming and I can scoop it up real quick, right? But most of your arm bars, you're gonna get that defense. They're gonna give laying back, you're trying to finish that. You're sitting back up anyway, and when you do that sit back motion, it creates space. So we're gonna go into the next thing. Strange enough, this one is also going to be from the two hands on the one grip. So we're here. How many of you have ever had somebody lift this arm up over their head and now they're free? Yeah? Okay. Here's what we're gonna do from there. I might be a little clunky in doing this. Trust me guys, it's so much better in real life. All right, go ahead and throws that arm over. Boom, no worries. This hand comes out. I'm gonna scoot over and I'm gonna grab my own thigh here, right? From here, it's like a combat base. I'm gonna sit up and bring my knee through, and I'm gonna dip my hand under. Spin, 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 let me see it. Spin, 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 spin. Here, I'm gonna dip my hand through, and I'm gonna come under like this. I personally like to pull, and if those of you need to see me come around this way, I bring it up here. I'm getting this deep. Your hand may vary depending on the length of your arm, but I like to reach through and grab as far as I can, even if I have to reach under his arm, and I come here, and then I'm gonna bring it up and I'm gonna drive my hips forward. Now, some will say, step up, throw the foot over the back. I like to get here and just go forward. He's either gonna stop us or we're gonna fall. If we go to fall, that's gonna be a lot of pressure on him, and then I'll slide my legs up into this grip and I'll hold on to it. From there, I'll pull the arm up, pull it up as I dip. If I fall forward, this leg will slide up to the back, and then I'll just kind of crunch down with the tension on. I'm not bringing up completely here. I'm combining a lifting and crunching at the same time. The biggest part of this is that initial transition. Here, he throws it over, fine. I've got my leg, right? I'm here. From this position, I would just keep coming up, reaching deep, and even from here, I don't even have to really the angle yet, but I can apply pressure and keep it tight. I'm not squeezing with all my might, okay? I'm not squeezing with all my might. I'm keeping it super tight. No space, right? If he were to try from there, his escape would be to try to fall to his back and elevate you, because there's not a whole lot of escaping from there because I'm on the opposite side of his body. I've got him locked in, right? So if he goes this way, he's kind of going into the choke. You know what I mean? Where would you go from there, CJ? I know you've got an answer here. Huh?
Go ahead.
Go again?
Yep.
Let's do it. I want to see. All right, so boom, I'm here. Go ahead. So you see, they can move. But what you do is you just remain calm, hold your position, and in that scenario, you get your leg over the back, right? One more time. We're here, boom. Come out, go forward, now I'm here. I didn't squeeze it, I just held it. You just scrambled, but you can go from there. CJ goes works from that a lot. They were just working it earlier, where Brody had a good guillotine going. Boom. Come up here, feed it through, nice and tight. You can start to walk forward. You can even hold it one hand if you like. It's a brace. This will probably be the best position that you want to end up in, right there. Now, one little note. Armbar guillotine is a little more difficult to finish because there's the space, which is why I promote pushing through as far as you can, reaching as far as you can, and then crunching. Okay? Trusting in it, knowing that you got it as they scramble around. Notice when we did scramble, where was he going? He was trying to elevate me and lift me, right? And it kind of left me in a what? A top position. So let's just say you went for the guillotine, it just didn't work. Are you in a bad position? No. You're in a top position. Just go ahead and transition to your side, okay? But do that and know yourself, know your abilities, and if it doesn't work out, and you know you're not the best at guillotines, then guess what? You just go to that top position. Boom, we're here, come out. If I'm here and these suck, just push forward. Come here. right? You don't have the back anymore, but you're just definitely not in a bad position. Any questions? All right, guys, on through bench marks. 1, 2, 3. You get some extra credit by having your partner fight you like CJ did me. Unlock this. Come all the way around. So you took this out. You took this out to get around. That's why it's jamming. So here. Yeah, there you go. There it is. Now you should be reaching this through and grabbing it with your other hand. Go ahead. Just slide the ball to your left. That's the same.
Yeah. And the more I
Yeah, base out. Step out.
So you end up doing this.
Yeah, we were looking past it, and I don't have my gloves.
You're not used to moving. Like I said, it's
I was
gonna
gonna
move
burn.
clunky. Guys, don't feel bad if this feels really clunky. If you're not used to moving like this, it's gonna take you a few times.
With your left hand, grab your left knee.
Over, watch. I grab my thigh.
Keep that grip and turn and
Make sure I stay on. Then if I rotate,
sit out. Sit out.
my fault. Yep, there you go. Feed your hand under there. Under her arm. Feed your right hand under her armpit.
Here,
Right hand under her armpit.
down moves out, right, so grab it.
Nope, right hand under her armpit.
Watch
Right,
this.
this one.
That's why you feed your right hand.
Turn.
Grab your right hand under her armpit.
I'm facing the opposite direction. Your shoulder just slid out. Here's what I'm grabbing. This one. And then from here, if I wanted to, I could bring my other leg this up. Or I could just.
I'm going the other way.
Grab your knee bit.
Ow.
Now turn it. You want
This arm to end up over here.
and now
Armpit.
Grab this thigh.
When I fell,
like an armbar.
guys, if you're not big into guillotines, you're not very well versed, just use it as control to get to a better position.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
You did it again. Oh, I did. You did, yeah. You gotta leave with one leg in. Yep. Spin, wait, basically. Wait. There you go. My shoulder's still in. Don't take it out. Just feel it up.
Yeah.
Keep this in. Once you feel that shoulder slip, there it is. So you should already be having a grip before my shoulder slips. Yeah. Go back.
Because it's like real scrambly and gets your head popped out, you're just falling.
Now, there it is. Now, once my shoulder slips through, it should be cinching. You should be out.
Let's just go real slow.
I think where that is, you need to just gotta get that knee around and then go tight here. Yeah. That's a fair way. And honestly, your knee, what you're doing is you're using your body.
I probably hit 3 more.
You want to have that to really get a lot of slack. He's here, right? I need to get in here, and I shoot this deep. And I will shoot as deep as I need to. If you're not here, I'm reaching back to my butt. And as I turn, I'm reaching under with my other hand, and then I grab. As soon as I grab my wrist, I bring the tension up. William's shoulder shifted.
It was
As I'm bringing the tension up,
and I was like,
here, his shoulder cold. That's when I really bring it in.
he figured out how to put his hips into my back.
But that shoulder coming through, you feel that shoulder slide through.
That's
You already had your hand pulling up.
Bring my arm over, I'm like going under.
It's a scary sound. Yeah.
So as his shoulder turns,
He's here, and my arm is not.
I'm standing facing that way. I've got my arm around here, I'm lifting. I'm here on his body. As that shoulder comes out, boom, it all goes around. It's no longer here as much as
In your brain, like,
yeah.
that's what I.
Boom, I step out, grab my thigh. And as I grab my thigh, once he gets here, before he starts turning, I'm pressing my body against him, slowing down. I've already got my wrist. Here, like that. Boom, shoulder turning. You saw that? And as his shoulder comes out, I take all that space away. And it's not, I'm not straining. I'm just super tight.
And it feels way more comfortable. Once it's the posture's still like this.
You're back on regular. We're on the side. Yeah. So trying to keep them right there for that. Like this. They can start. And that's the important thing. So guys, when we're doing this, it's important to try to keep them up. Like Matt was talking about, he felt, and it's true, if they fall to their side and you go with it, there's going to be more opportunity for them to escape. You have less control of their legs, they can start pushing legs away and all this other stuff, okay? There's a point where the shoulders turn and that shoulder frees up and comes out. As you're holding your body there, you feel that shoulder sliding. You should already have a grip so that when that shoulder pops out, you take the space away. And that's even going to make it tighter because it's probably already tight, but as soon as that shoulder pops out, boom, it comes up, and we go for our crunch. Or you throw the foot over the back, or however you like to do it, okay? If you're not very familiar with guillotines, or guillotines just aren't your thing, give it some practice. Guillotines are very good. I'll tell you this, there's certain moves in jiu-jitsu that I primarily will use in no gi and not very often in gi. This is one of those ones that I would use in no gi because in gi, there's so many lapels and belts and things that your hand gets caught into, and then once you get around the neck in the gi, the material will actually make a padding, a buffer, where you can squeeze all you want, but like 3 or 4 inches of lapel and you know, triple weave competition gi is in the way, and it's like, you can't really get that same compression, right? So, good one to work. Guillotines are great for no gi. They work in the gi too, you just gotta get there just right. But give those an opportunity. That's from the back. Definitely use the one with the arm bar. And in your arm bar, guys, arm bar from mount, arm bar from that back control, straight into an arm bar. If they're on their side and you're in a technical mount, try to resist the urge to fall to your back. Start trying to finish them sitting up, okay? Any questions? On 3, let's stand up and bow. 1, 2, 3.